This is PC 747. Earlier this week, I was reading in some news that Google is making an attempt to take on PlayStation and Xbox. Let's talk about this Google Yeti system and what it would take in order for Google to succeed in this market. This is not the first time we saw Google actually put their foot in the water and looking at going into the gaming realm. Now, if we go back a couple years, we look at the Nexus Player, it wasn't really meant to be a hardcore gaming system, as it was more of a set-top box meant to compete with the Apple TV and the Roku. But it added a little more when you added a little gaming pad for it. Now, the game you were going to be able to play on it was not going to be intensive. It wasn't going to be anything that was 4K or something that's going to take a lot of memory. It was just a little racing games or something that was more for the kids or something to kill some time. Now, the video, on the other hand, was actually looking to step into this realm and really compete with it. And they tried to with the NVIDIA Shield TV. In fact, I have one now. And I want to actually talk about the NVIDIA Shield TV because I feel like Google could learn from some of the things NVIDIA did right and what they didn't do in order to make this gaming system that is going to be something that people would actually going to want to buy and actually want to recommend to somebody else. Now, I've said before, having owned a NVIDIA Shield and still having myself, this is a device I would not recommend to anybody because of the simple fact now you can buy a PlayStation 4 for around $200-300, and the NVIDIA Shield TV was going for about the same amount. And I could not really recommend anybody buy the NVIDIA Shield over a PlayStation. And even if the PlayStation was still $100 more, I would still tell somebody just to save up their money and go ahead and buy the PlayStation because the NVIDIA Shield TV is just not enough as far as providing the gaming experience for even the average gaming fan. But let's talk about first what they did right and how Google could learn from that. And then we'll talk about some of the things that Google could learn from where NVIDIA fell short. Now, let's start what they did right. Offering a clean system that was easy to set up. It was tied into the Google ecosystem, which meant that all I had to do was enter my Google password and username, and boom, all my music, my apps, all the things came up. It made it simple for setting it up and getting started, which meant less time for setup, more time for being able to enjoy the device. Also, out of the box, you had the ability to use your YouTube and a couple more apps that was geared towards the streaming box. There's some more games that was on there that was meant to be able to play with your gaming pad. The other thing I would say that I liked about what NVIDIA did was the ability to access games to the cloud. So even if you had a situation where you're playing a game and you had either a power outage or you got to return this device that you have because it has some bugs, you buy another device, well, you'll be able to go ahead and plug everything in, get back updated, and actually continue gaming exactly where it's at because everything's saved to the cloud. Where they fail is why I can't recommend this device. First of all, they didn't provide enough games, especially for, again, even though you have some of your softcore gamers who are not really into all your intensive gamings, they still want some of your Maddens. They still want some of the games out there that are on your PlayStation, the Xbox, and brought to them so they can actually enjoy it. And NVIDIA failed to bring that experience. They were trying to do that by having players sign up for that $8 a month subscription, but once you signed up for that, there was not enough games there to even justify paying that type of money. And even the 1-2 games that you play, you look and say, okay, for that $8 a month, I would rather be able to just buy the game outright and save the money from paying you a premium because it just didn't provide me enough. And in fact, one of the other areas that I felt that really hammered NVIDIA is that they spent a lot of time being geared for those who already had an NVIDIA gaming computer. So if you're someone who didn't have a gaming computer, you actually situation where you felt left out because There were a lot of good games out there that you felt like you didn't have access to because you didn't have a gaming computer. And that for me is what I feel put the NVIDIA Shield TV in a situation where it's almost something not worth it for those who, again, if you don't have a gaming computer, why would you buy this? Now let's talk about what Google needs to do, especially learning from NVIDIA, in order to make this thing worth buying. But for one, they got to get the titles. You got to get your Madness. You got to get your Injustice, NBA 2K, all of those top titles out there that is going to draw fans to your gaming system. You need to get it there, and you need to be able to make it easier for people to purchase it. Second, they got to be able to find a way to compete with both Sony and Microsoft when it comes to the online gaming network, because you're going to have people who are going to want to play each other, whether it be fighting games, sports games, or any other games online. And if Google is not able to establish that online presence, they're going to find themselves wiped out immediately, because again, Sony already have that, and so does Microsoft with the Xbox network and the PlayStation network. Google will be able to do, it should be able to do, being the fact that they own YouTube, is a simple fact that, well, they have a surefire way to compete with Twitch by allowing their players to connect to their YouTube page and be able to share their gaming experience and set up their own little gaming page. The other thing that's going to be very important for Google to do is make this thing powerful. It's going to have to be on the same scale as the Xbox and the PlayStation 4 as far as being able to handle those real intense games with those real intense graphics, as well as being able to provide that 4K content and experience for what even the hardest of hardcore games is going to want to have. But also, they need to make it come with a lot of options. For example, you may have someone who want to kind of just get an idea if Google is really going to be able to compete with the market and not quite wanting to buy the high-end variant right now. So I think they need to offer 3 tiers. One, a low tier, a mid tier, and obviously the top of the line tier, which is going to be based on storage space. Make the cheaper option be like around $199, and maybe the most expensive option be about $399. But allow the gamer also to be able to upgrade easily. You know what I mean by that is, let's say I decide to go with the cheaper tier because I'm not quite sure that Google knew what they were doing here. And it turned out, hey, well, it looked like Google actually had a game plan and it's working. They get the top titles, and I want to buy more games. I want to do more of this. Well, I should be able to, whether it be through Google or through some third party, be able to buy additional storage, hook it up, and be able to still enjoy my gaming system. Even if that means that, I may have to pay a little bit more by later on buying additional storage versus the savings I may have if I would have went ahead and bought, let's say, the top tier. But I see Google actually having a great opportunity here to really strengthen their platform. And this is why I say that, because Google already have the phone space right now. They got the assistant going on right now. They got assistant going in cars. And they could really take this and use the gaming system to bring in more customers, and whether it be on the advertising side or on the gaming side. Let's look at this dynamic now for a second. So let's say, for example, you browsing the web on your phone and, a new game just have to be out on the market. So Google can make some money as far as advertising by providing that ad service to you. So you look up on your phone, you see this new game's out, and you think, oh, okay, I might want to buy that. So while you're driving home, you'll be able to use your Google Assistant hardware. Since you already have your credit cards or debit cards set up to your Google Wallet, it can respond with which card 1, card 2, or card 3 would you like to use to make that purchase. By using your Google Assistant, whether it be in your car, or your phone, or your watch, you was able to buy a game, and on the way home, it's already been downloaded to your Yeti. So by the time you get home, you get to pick up the gaming system, it's already in your hard drive, it's ready to go. You able to enjoy the experience. And that works for everybody. It works for Google as far as their ad service because they're making money advertising the game. They're working for the manufacturers of the gaming titles or the developers of the gaming titles because they're able to immediately get sales from someone looking to buy it. And it works for the consumer because it offers a quick way to enjoy a new game on the go. What can set Google back? Well, for one, as I said before, not allowing options. And two, not going all in. If Google decides to go with this process and not go all in, looking to make this game system to be on par or being able to compete as far as specs with the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, then you're going to have people who feel like, well, why would I really want to buy this system here at this price when PlayStation offers, Xbox offers? If Google is able to go all in and really commit to this, I can see them offering something that not only helps them be able to compete in the same atmosphere as a Microsoft and a Sony, but surpass what Apple and Amazon is doing on their side. Google actually have the opportunity here to really do a lot here. And I see this having a chance to succeed, especially if they're able to mix the ability to use their cloud service with the ability to bring the top gamers to the gaming system. They could really win here. And there are a lot of scenarios how this could work. They could use their cloud service to house some of your less intense games, like let's say something like a Street Fighter or a quick shooter game that doesn't require a lot of memory, and use that to incorporate where someone with, let's say, a Chromebook who may be on the road away from home can be able to hook up their Chromebook to a television at the hotel and pair their gaming pads and be able to play some of those low intense games online. They can also utilize their Daydream headset where players can put that on and still be able to interact with some of their games on their gaming system. But also, the game will be able to handle your top games that are out on the Xbox, out on the PlayStation, even if it requires, again, being able to have to download those games to play it. And that puts them ahead of the competition if Google is willing to go that far. The question is, are they going to do that? And the question is, are they going to be able to get those titles, the titles that people want? This is PC 747. I'm out.